Well, this is interesting. A Play Wild video on my channel for the first time since November 2019. Paws and Flaws episode 3 was probably the last full AJ Play Wild video I made. Yeah, this is crazy, right? I actually made this video because I'm announcing that I quit Play Wild in May. Some people still don't know that. I mean, I announced it on my old Instagram page, @PaulRaccoon, which I do not use anymore. Don't follow that page. It's not active anymore. But I announced on May 1st that I did quit Play Wild. I am so overdue to make a video for it. I'm going to explain why I waited so long to make this video, and why I'm making it now, and why it's important that I make it in the first place. Even if some of you are like, wait, you make Play Wild content, or you used to? I didn't know that, Ellipsity. Well, I'm just going to explain right now why this video is so late, and why it's being made now. So, in May, well, late April, Animal Jam, when they renamed Play Wild Animal Jam, that was a time where I was really angry and embittered about the change. I didn't want to look at Play Wild, I didn't want to log on to Play Wild, I didn't even want to acknowledge that it existed. In fact, I unlisted all my old AJ Play Wild videos at the time, because I was so angry, I just didn't want to look at the game anymore. I didn't want to continue Paws and Flaws. I was just so over it, and I was so embittered about the change. And then, as the months passed, people didn't even know I left. I didn't make a big enough announcement. It was just a simple Instagram post that not many people saw because my Instagram was very inactive, a very dead page. I never announced on my channel that I quit Play Wild, and thus being the reason you don't see new Paws and Flaws episodes. If you don't remember what Paws and Flaws is, it's this old Animal Jam Play Wild series I made in 2018, 2019. And there were only 3 episodes of it. It ended on a cliffhanger, and people ask me sometimes, when is there going to be an episode 4? Are you going to continue from the cliffhanger? When is it coming back? And I'm like, you didn't know? I quit Play Wild, and I'm continuing Paws and Flaws on Wattpad now. So I'm going to go into detail about that. Let me just first explain why I felt the need to quit, and it's not just the name change. It's the fact that when I made Play Wild videos, it was a lot of effort, a lot of unnecessarily difficult effort, because at the time, Play Wild was not available on the computer. I mean, if you're a Mac user, you had to use BlueStacks. You couldn't get Play Wild on Steam if you're a Mac user. At the time, you couldn't. And that made making videos hard, because BlueStacks sucked so bad, it would crash all the time. Complete crap. You know, it was complete crap. That's all I can say about BlueStacks. So then finally, when I downloaded Play Wild on my phone, I was like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna record episodes on my phone. It worked, but it was so difficult, because on the phone, you can't record clips that are too long. Your phone will shut off if you leave it unattended, and you have to start all over from where you were recording, and you have to go to the exact spot you were recording, and it's just a pain to edit. And then you have to send all those clips to your computer, so you can download them to your computer and just edit the episode there. And it was just like, oh my god, why is this so hard? And I struggled and struggled and struggled to do that for the first 3 episodes of Paws and Flaws. And This Is Ridiculous, the musical. Yes, if you remember that, that's also on my old Instagram page, Paul Raccoon. Making episodes for that and Paws and Flaws on a Mac was close to impossible, so I had to do it on my phone, which created so much work, so much tireless effort when I could have been working on things I wanted to work on. And I did enjoy those projects. It's not that I didn't want to work on them, because I did really enjoy them at the time. But when you have to work so hard on a game like Play Wild, where people don't even respect that you are trying to record in your den, because let me explain something here. When I would be recording in my Play Wild den, people wouldn't care. They would stay there. They wouldn't leave. They were rude. They were toxic. They were bratty. I had to lock them out, and they would get offended if I did that. And I was like, oh my god, can't I just lock buddies out? And if I unbuddied people, they got upset. It's like, there's no winning when you're recording a skit series on Play Wild. It just stresses you out, it drains you, and then when you premiere the episode, not many people care about it, because people don't care about a Play Wild skit series. And that's fine. I respect that Play Wild is just not the place for that. And I just gave up on that. I know some of you loved Paws and Flaws, but Play Wild was not the place to do it. Looking back now, it was not the place to, record that series. So this is where I'm going to mention that Paws and Flaws will continue, but not on Play Wild. It's going to continue as a Wattpad story. If you have not yet followed it or didn't even know I had it, I have a Wattpad page. Here it is. I think you have to be 13 and up to sign up, but if you are that age and you can sign up, by all means do it, and you can read the rest of Paws and Flaws. I haven't posted all the chapters yet, but chapters 1 and 2, from episodes 1 and 2, they've been posted, and they're basically a direct replica of the episodes that I made on Play Wild, but with more detailed description, because it's fiction, it's a book, and it's not limited to Play Wild, you know? So, yeah, if you want to find out how Paws and Flaws ends, you can just read it on Wattpad. I know Paws and Flaws was already based on a storybook I wrote on DeviantArt back in 2015. Crazy, right? It's like it went from book to series, now back to book. But this time, this is the real deal book. It's going to contain the Play Wild plot. The Play Wild series plot, it's going to be in the storybook on Wattpad. It's going to be a lot more detailed and better than what I wrote in 2015. And it won't have Animal Jam Play Wild's limitations. Because there were scenes in the Play Wild series that were so hard to record because of the limited dens, the limited items, the limited outfits. I had to just make a lot of changes so it could still work on Play Wild, because Play Wild is so limiting. It may have a lot of updates, but it's limiting when it comes to character looks and animal slots. They don't have all the animals you need. They still haven't brought sheep back. It's just, it didn't work out for me. And I wanted to make this video to just explain. That's why I stopped Paws and Flaws. It was too limiting. If I had tried to continue Paws and Flaws and Play Wild, it would have been low quality, it would have been very rushed, it would have been limited, and I just didn't have time. I had to focus on Life is Full of Phantoms or Paws and Flaws, and Life is Full of Phantoms always is the first priority on my channel, because that's the series I've been making for years, and that people really care enough to watch. Few people really cared about Paws and Flaws, because it's Play Wild, and not a lot of people on my channel are fond of Play Wild. I get you, trust me. When I moved to Play Wild, I did miss PC a lot, but I thought it would be a new chapter on Play Wild, so that's why I stuck around. Like, I'm not saying Play Wild's a bad game. It's a fun game if you love the fact that it's 3D Animal Jam and you can do all sorts of different things and the updates are pretty rad. There's all these things you can do on Play Wild that you can't do on PC, but when it comes to making a skit series, that's close to impossible, and it's very hard. And all the stress I went through to put the series together just wasn't worth it in the end, because I got burned out. I didn't enjoy it anymore. And Animal Jam decided to make it available on computers well past the time I lost interest. So by the time they released it on the computers and you could download it to your laptop or Mac or whatever, by then I already lost interest. I didn't care enough to continue making Paws and Flaws. I was already burnt out on it because I already burnt myself out making it on my phone. And so by April I was like, it's too late, I'm just burnt out. And I was really mad about the name change. So ultimately, I left. Right when they fixed the whole issue with playing it on your computer. By then, my interest was gone. So it was pretty bad timing. But I don't regret leaving, because I'm going to confess something here to you guys. I have been so much happier, so much healthier, so much more confident since I left Play Wild. And I know that sounds bad. It sounds like I'm saying Play Wild was this miserable place. No offense, but it's community. It's difficult. It is difficult, and I'm not saying I left because of the community, because as you know, I've stayed in Animal Jam for years, despite the community. Despite the bad apples, I've stayed. Because I don't care what others think of me staying, I'm gonna do what I want to do. But if I lose interest in it, that's when I choose to leave. And I lost interest in Play Wild at my own volition. At my own will, I decided I was growing out of Play Wild, and I wanted to move on to Feral and continue AJ Classic content. So do not take this as a I'm quitting Animal Jam video. Technically, I am quitting Animal Jam, as they call it, because it's Play Wild. But I'm not quitting Classic, and I'm not quitting Feral. I have stuff planned. I still have the rest of Life is Full of Phantoms to finish on AJ Classic, and then I have a Feral series planned. So no, I'm not quitting Feral or AJ Classic. Just Play Wild, and this video confirms it. Because there were some people in my AJ Play Wild pack that are still talking to me as though I'm going to respond. They still think I haven't left. They still think I'm somehow alive in that game when I quit in May. And I'm like, don't you guys know I quit? Because when I logged on to play Wild today, I saw my pack chat. And there were people there saying, hey, E, what's your favorite alpha? And I'm like, dude, I quit Play Wild. Which reminds me, I need to transfer ownership of my Play Wild pack to someone else just to keep it going. Because people still seem to chat in it. I don't anymore. So, if you want to do that, just comment your username. Tell me why you want ownership of my AJ Play Wild pack. And if your reason is good enough, I will hand you ownership of the pack. Because I'm not going to be on Play Wild anymore. This is the last time you'll ever see me on in this video. I've moved on from Play Wild completely. It was painful enough having to download the app again just to make this video. I am definitely not coming back for a third time. Or was it second time? Yeah, I lost count. E can't do math. Okay, well, I just want to say, thanks for the memories on Play Wild. I had a lot of fun, even though I didn't spend a lot of time on this game. I had a lot of fun on Play Wild, but I outgrew it. You know, the game itself, Play Wild, is more for the little kids in Animal Jam. I know Classic is also for kids, but come on, Classic is nostalgic. People grew up with Classic. Play Wild, I didn't grow up with. You know, it ceased to interest me. No, I'm not judging anyone who plays it. If you love Play Wild, more power to you. Keep playing it. Keep making videos for it. But I will not be a part of that community anymore. I'm just going to be an AJ Classic channel and a Feral channel. So, yeah. That's where I'm at for now. Alright, now that I've cleared that out of the way, have a great day. If you want to see the rest of Paws and Flaws, I will try my best to get the next chapter up on Wattpad. And follow my new Instagram page, Ivory. A lot of people don't know that I switched Instagram pages. Like I'm saying, Instagram is not the best place to notify people of these things. Not many people are active on Instagram. So just follow Ivory. And I think I've covered everything. I'm not going to blabber and blabber on this video. So have a great day. Goodbye.